attendees often don't understand at the beginning how they, without being conscious of it, how they automatically turn people off. And they're surprised. They're really genuinely surprised in the training when they realize, oh, that person just got turned off completely. Or even more, I induce an anxiety situation in these people just by what I said, by making them feel insecure about themselves and so on. And naturally that doesn't help with the relationship. So the people can begin to both come to a weekend and begin to validate the parts of them that are supportive and the parts of them that distract. They can begin to differentiate that. Everyone, of course, knows that in many ways already and understands, okay, this is not going to be helpful here and so on. But sometimes they don't realize that until, for example, the patient leaves them or sues them, worse. Especially helpful for the people who have really with their full heart tried to take care for people and then gotten burned out a little bit, just gotten a little bit less fun now between all the usual things with administrative things and more paperwork and computers and all that sort of stuff. Each weekend addresses a very particular area, like one that relates to fear. Fear is always there, always present. And so we have a whole weekend devoted just to working with fear. There's another weekend devoted to working with humor, and humor and healing, where it's not that there's any laughing in the sense of at anything, but just seeing the humor in what's going on and lightening up, really, just helping the person lighten up, which is an important adjunct to any healing, but unfortunately Western medicine sometimes doesn't address that. Another weekend is designed to address the whole psychosomatic nature of understanding that the person's body and the doctor's body are both psychosomatically very reactive, and it doesn't make any difference if you know about it or not. If you're in a psychosomatic reaction pattern, people will feel it, and you will feel it, and you will say stuff that goes along with that that may not fit. So all these things, again, especially the psychosomatic stuff, lead to a lot to burnout because people are feeling carrying a huge burden, and they are, in their muscles and in their mind, where this becomes tremendous extra energy to really practice.
I think there's a lot of challenges in providing healthcare in today's environment where there's a pressure to see more patients in less time and the financial constraints of practice. That takes you away sometimes from having great communication with your patients because you're worried about the documentation, you're worried about the paperwork, the computer system that you have to put everything into puts a barrier sometimes between you and the patient. And so when it becomes more about those things rather than being focused on the patient, you lose some of the things that motivated you to do medicine in the first place.
I'm not the only one struggling with the career that I love, the passion for helping animals and their families. The combination of my professional career and parenting a special needs child left me empty.
So I think if I take pauses during my day, maybe before a surgery, or maybe after a surgery to get rid of tension in my body, or even at lunchtime when you have a busy practice office in the morning and you have to come back in the afternoon and you're dreading seeing 20 patients and another 20 patients, if you take these little breaks or time out and maybe use mental imagery or other things to relax not just your body but your mind, I think you'll have a more fulfilling interaction.
Oh, I'm gonna be able, like if I am gonna be able to be aware, obviously I'm gonna be way more sensitive to my patient's need or my family's needs or anyone's needs. the moment when you're aware, you're actually in contact with the person's energy field, I think, and you actually can understand them on a completely different level and understand their needs, even if they don't talk about them. So
I especially like the combination of meditation, contemplative, the skills that happen in Buddhist meditation in particular, and their connection to healing. And then these workshops dealing with how we communicate.
I don't feel like I'm steering over the brink anymore. I don't need to look for another career.
Would I recommend these trainings for the people? Sure, I would. Yeah, I think they're very important. And I think they're done in a very kind and loving way.
So mainly we see those people who have stumbled on their openness but don't know how to work with it. And so we've seen how you can work with that in a really meaningful way and still have a life, still have a family, and still be able to care for the people at the same time.